Hey guys, what's up? This is Awwyeeah, and it's an honor to serve the king. We're back again today, and we're going to be exploring another class by popular request of how to. So today, we're going to how to knight. So let's take a look at knight. What is the knight class? So here's the knight. So the knight is a powerful warrior with a massive two-handed sword. Isn't that a massive sword? Guys, just take a look at the size of that. That is just amazing. Play difficulty, hard. It is definitely a very hard class to pick up and play efficiently. It says a skilled knight can be an unstoppable force, which is completely true. Although the knight's massive greatsword is tricky to handle, it's especially difficult for enemies to block. Who needs finesse when you have a sword like this? It's kind of funny that they say who needs finesse when you have a sword like this. Knight, historically, many people know that I personally have a very, let's just say, traumatic history with knight. I'll link a clip here just to show what I mean. Well, as you guys can see, Knight was a very controversial class at the beginning. Knight, it won a majority of the MLC tournaments because it was just a super dominating force of destruction. Now today, it's relatively more balanced, although it's still a very highly popular class. And for good reason. I got over my personal gripes with Knight, and I picked it up myself, and I started using it frequently, and it's definitely one of my core 3 classes to play. And so we're going to look into the Knight physics. So as you can see, a Knight, it can be gripped with one hand or two hands, and is both very different feels for combat. And so we'll go into a little bit of that. So let's hop in the training room and let's take a look at Knight class. Alright, so here we are. Alright, we're in the training room. We're going to pump some iron. Pump some iron. Okay, here we go. So let's put him on defend for now. And for the sake of learning techniques, we're going to put on unlimited energy. So let's get into it. Like I mentioned, Knight is a very big weapon class. Let's just put it like that. You can grip the Knight sword with one hand or two hands. The correct way to play currently in this meta is to play with both hands. And I explain why. Knight, as you can see, as I move the blade around with just my one hand for the sake of, or let me just do it properly, you can see that it has a trail behind it. That is the edge alignment. So you can see that when I cut along the edge of the blade, I'm swinging at max speed. At max speed, you want to make sure that when you're swinging, you have this effect going the entire time with all your attacks, because that means that you are swinging at the maximum speed possible. And you can see I can move in many different directions and I still maintain the level of speed. So you want to make sure that you're cutting the wind with the edge of the blade. So that is very important. That is basic 101 Knight. Alright, let's talk about swinging. So, alright, I'm going to do one-handed technique and show you the difference between one-handed and two-handed first. So we're going to charge here. So in my one-handed technique, you can see that you have more control of the direction of the blade with one hand. With one hand. But the thing with one-handed is that it is extremely slow. You sacrifice your speed for more control using one hand. But when you add two hands, now you don't have as great control, but you have a massive increase of speed. You're able to just barrage through your opponent with just your sheer speed of attack. So Typically speaking, 9 out of 10 scenarios, you're going to be using two-handed at all times. So you want to make sure that you never let go of your blade with two-hand, and you always keep your hands in front of you while it's swinging. Alright, so that's basic swinging. So what can we explore next with Knight? Knight can do so many different types of attacks, but I feel like for us to get into it, all the capabilities of Knight, you're gonna need sort of a beginner to intermediate video and then an advanced tactics video, because that's a whole nother world, and it's pretty much defined by the meta. Alright, so I just taught you guys how to swing with Knight. So let's talk about its range attack. So Knight range attack, as you can see, when you slash and you hold the trigger button, and lets loose a wave of damage. You can stack them, you can do it in many different directions. It does cost I would say a good amount of energy to do. Most Knights, when they use range attack, they try and do sort of a curve pattern, like so, to try and hit the opponent if they try and dodge. Most people are going to block a strike, a range strike like that, so you don't want to waste your range attack. In an advanced tactics video, I'll show you guys how to do the Knight bullet. Or you know what the heck, I'll show you how to do it now. It's gonna be really complicated, but I'll try and explain it the best way possible. So this is your body right here, right? You have the blade, you want to bring the sword while gripping it, still gripping it without letting go, back. So you want half the blade past your waist. And so when it's back this far, you want to now, still holding the blade the entire time, grab your trigger button. And now you can see that it's sort of glowing here at the end. And you know that you have your range attack active. So you're going to now hold the trigger button. It disappeared, but you're still holding it. And you're going to let go of your grip button. You're going to move your hand forward. And now you're going to grip your weapon again. And it's going to let loose a fire. So again, we'll do it one more time. You're going to grab your weapon. You're going to bring it back, still holding your weapon. You're going to grab the trigger button, activate your range attack. You're going to let go of the grip button. You're going to move your hand forward. You're going to grab your weapon again, the grip button, and it's going to let forward a strike. So that is the Knight bullet, guys. So that's how you do it. It's pretty cool. I'm glad that he decided to leave that in the game, because it's honestly one of my favorite things about Knight. And you can do crazy things with it. You can shape it, like a lot of people wiggle it like that, you know. You can do all sorts of things. So just experiment with it, create your own style. That is the Knight bullet. So that's Knight ranged in a nutshell. So let's talk about defending. So I have my own personal defending style with Knight that I know that nobody else uses. So I'm not going to show you guys how to do that, because I think it's kind of controversial, and I can pretty much 100 block other Knight players. Like if I'm in a Nightmare matchup, it's probably going to be in my favor due to my personal style. And so I implore most of you guys to just develop your own defending style, but I will show you the basic Knight defending. So you have two types of Knight defending. You have Rising Guard, where you have your blade up right like this, or you have what is it called? You have Rising, and I forget. When you're gonna have your blade down, basically. So you have Rising and you have Ascending, basically. You have the correct terminology for it. Man, I am losing my mind here. Okay, anyways, but let's show that in a nutshell. So Rising Guard, basically you have your blade up and you're gonna bring it back. Bring it back. You're gonna bring it back. Bring it back. And then another defending style is you're gonna have it flipped upside down. You're gonna bring it past your body, like so, in a circular motion, making sure that you're refreshing on time for the strike. So you have your blade down, you're going to want to hold it above your head. Make sure that your head is guarded at all time. You're just going to sort of rotate your blade past your body. And so that is how you defend from a lower perspective. Okay. Okay. My phone is going crazy. Apologize for that. Got like 50 messages. Anyways, so you can see both sort of in action. So let me show you active guard. It's sort of actively doing up and down. So you're gonna keep down, up, down, down, up. So that's the active guard. That is how most players play right now. They're not just defending in one particular style. They're actively going up and down based on the refresh. So refresh, up, down, refresh, up, refresh. So actively refreshing and switching directions at the same time. So that is the active guard. So that's how most players play. My style, I call my style the humble knight, where I'm defending on my knee, and I love it. But that's my specific style of defending, and gives a lot of people gripe, but you know, that is the Templar Knight style of defending, and I absolutely love it. So let's jump in multiplayer real quick and just show you in a nutshell. Knight. Make sure I have my proper gear on. So let's put back on the Gallant. Experimenting yesterday a little bit. So let's jump into multiplayer. Hop in a quick casual match. Match found. Okay. Alright, cool. Waving at this guy. So a person. Oh, look. He's a new player. We I just started talking to him recently. So it's probably gonna take him up. But we're going to, for the sake of this tutorial, of course. Here we are, Knight versus Duelist. This is a classic matchup, so to speak. So, in a Knight versus Duelist, you want to focus on burning down the shield. So, I'm going to charge here, and I'm going to go forward. And you want to keep up your momentum. Preferably striking the side where you strike the shield first. So ate away a great amount of this shield. Using my pattern here. I'm gonna charge because he doesn't have any shield. I want to break through it, not give him a chance to recover it at all. So keeping the edge line there. That was in. Alright. So we're going to be fighting Domin Alex. So here we have a classic swordsman fight. So we did Duelist, now we're doing Samurai. So Knight versus Samurai. This will be interesting. So Samurai is a single blade, but it has a shield on the lower half. So you're gonna want to, just like Duelist, focus on breaking through its defense by using consistent attacks. So keeping your blade forward because you don't want to get caught by his range attacks. He's gonna strike, or he wants me to strike first. But no, we're gonna want to wait for him. So he's gonna make sure you guard your head and your lower body. So. We're doing a good job of keeping that. With his attacks, we're going to go in. I want to keep steady attack. Actually, his shield is going to break down nice and easily, but it's not doing as good of a job keeping his body. Alright. We're going to continue the momentum. I'll go through his defense, so I'm going to full charge here, and I'm going to finish him off. My direction, and that will be good. Alright, let's give him a rematch, see if he'll play a different class. Alright, so here's an interesting one. Knight versus Scourge. So, typically, a good Scourge player is going to counter a good Knight. But let's see what happens here. It's sort of randomly flailing. So, alright, he wants to come forward. We did about 70%. So you want to keep your blades aligned with the line of his. You want to keep it in front of you in the same line that it is, refreshing like so. It's difficult to do, but once you get the rhythm of attacks, most Scourges attack in a linear type of pattern. So alright, we're gonna see if we can catch with the range attack here. So nope, charge off. So, attacking in an X direction. So we're gonna use the range attack here. Got one. At least one there. Good. Or Scourge, my bad. So, alright. Second tutorial. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed the Knight tutorial. That's basically Knight in a nutshell. Be sure to leave comments. Make sure that you like the video so it can get promoted and that we can build up a channel and spread the word about Ironlights, because Ironlights is the best game ever. Okay, it's the best game ever. And so, hope to see you online. It's Awwyeeah, and it's an honor to serve the king. Catch you guys next time.